Yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pain for their disease. Breathe just like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards in the weekend, harmless.
The final countdown to Turmoil begins tonight as we are less than a week away from that massive night of opportunity where things around IPW will shift dramatically. But tonight, we've got an epic night of action, including a number one contendership battle for the television championship again. What could go wrong there? But before that, we've got 5 more super epic battles. Let's get to the first now. Well, let's kick off this last episode of Primetime Before Turmoil with a glamorous beginning. Here in Reno, this is gonna be dope. As the glamour takes to the arena. We're hoping for a big performance. Start the night off right.
The contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from London, England, Blake Monroe.
Very delayed announcement of the name, but Blake Monroe starting Prime Time off. Looking to realistically reassert herself after a solid performance during the Uprising tournament. She's not been seen since, and well, she's going up against another star who had a fairly decent tournament in Ren Sinclair.
Representing No Quarter Catch Crew from Dallas, Texas, Ren Sinclair.
The big difference, though, was Ren was on that breakdown bracket. Since then, moving over to Primetime, becoming a mainstay here during the draft week, and now looking to assert herself into title contention. Obviously, the Prospects Championship, something that both these ladies have tried to go for in the Uprising tournament, but that's obviously a little bit further down the road for whomever reaches that part. But as we start this matchup off, it's going to be Ren landing the first flurry of offense. She does get Blake into the fireman's carry, but Monroe escapes that position. And well, more shots come in from Sinclair, but as soon as they land, it's immediately reversed as a Scorpion Death Drop comes through from Monroe. Now, obviously building into Turmoil with the spots in that Turmoil matchup kind of fully locked in on the women's side. Only the men's bracket seems to have spots available. A win here for one of these ladies would realistically launch them maybe further down into that matchup and the potential chance of going after the top championships rather than the Prospects or even the Sapphire belt. But yeah, currently We're looking at this bout, and it's Sinclair who's taken control early here. Both ladies wearing the black and white. But a roll-up here in favor of Monroe, trying to steal it. Could have been done and dusted. The result printed in black and white, but not the case. As a nice stiff shot from Monroe, but caught on the apron. Sinclair now ascending up top, looking to fly, calling her shot, and to the top she goes, leaping in with a crossbody. Signature Ren Sinclair offense, that is, that crossbody to the outside has sort of become a staple in her arsenal. Now as our referee, big man Lennon, issues the count. Gotta continue to see this flash flurry of offense coming out from Sinclair, and hopefully she keeps it rolling here against Monroe. But there's that drop kick. We talked about the crossbody being signature of Sinclair. That drop kick, a Monroe masterpiece. It's her signature weapon to get the tempo changed in her favor as she launches Sinclair into the corner. Both ladies really battling here as once again Sinclair elevated to the outside thanks to the Glamour's beautiful maneuver. Tossing her over the top, and well, Sinclair able to come back in before the count gets into a dangerous predicament. And now back on the offensive up top, Hurricane Rana brings down Blake Monroe. Sinclair unloading a clothesline. It's a 2K comeback. That's speciality, but no comebacks needed here for Sinclair. She's been in control for the majority of the early stage. But that is a big time face buster as well. Cover here onto the Glamour. 1, 2, 3. Big kick out from Monroe to stay alive. And could you imagine what sort of spiral the Glamour could be under if she is to succumb to Sinclair here? A BFT type attack from Ren puts down the Glamour once more. Another near fall. And Ren needs to keep the pressure going. Stomp gonna be avoided, and the sling blade, the response from the Glamour. Headbutt from Monroe, dropping Sinclair. This could be the shift in favor of Monroe that she needs. Blake unloads that massive knee strike. Now needs to really look to finish off Ren Sinclair. The clothesline misses, but so does Ren, and then the Glamour come through with a Des Prez. Ren fires back, avoids Monroe's efforts, and Sinclair continuing to look to put away. No, not put away Monroe. Blake able to stomp back the boots again, that drop kick able to connect, and now she's lining up Ren for what could arguably be the Glamour shot, the big double drop kick to the side of the face. It connects easily for Monroe, and now needs to look to put away Sinclair. Ren, inverted facebuster, drags Monroe back to the canvas and now lines her up. Kick to the gut. Hooks her, brings her to powerbomb position, but Blake able to escape it. Monroe, looking for that headbutt once more, but Sinclair avoids, but Blake avoids the follow-up offense from Sinclair. Is now the Glamour in control, full Nelson skull-crushing finale. Didn't expect that. We saw a BFT earlier. Skull-crushing finale fairly similar. A headbutt, very different, and it's an interesting weapon to have in your arsenal because it relies on you not concussing yourself. You never see them as effective weapons, but Blake seems to use it quite well as she avoids Sinclair's offense, scoops her up, but Sinclair out the back door, Scorpion death drop of her own. And now, the Glamour's reeling here against Sinclair, who lands a super kick to the gut, lines her up. Oh, big time scissor kick. And she's going to follow it up with a boot of her own. That's more of a Glamour shot than what Blake Monroe delivered to her. Sinclair rolling. Puts Blake on the barricade. And new and improved electronic barricades as well. When we talk about when you toss someone into that barricade before the new era, it was into just raw steel. Now you're landing on, I would say, something arguably worse as Sinclair facebuster connects, putting Monroe down, but because you're landing them into LEDs and things that can kind of break on your body as Sinclair looking for the cover here. She landed that facebuster. Is it good for the win? The answer's no, as Blake Monroe kicks out. Monroe missing. Caught again. Nice German from Ren Sinclair. Bringing her competitor, her opponent, down to the ground and now ascends to the second rope. Sinclair feeling herself here. Off she goes, trying to go for a drop kick of her own. Failing to connect, and Monroe trying to capitalize, but oh, she does so. Jawbreaker coming through for the Glamour and lines up around the world, tilt the world, side slam. Not a tilt the world. Anything. Now the Glamour, I think, maybe mocking as she's been busted open. Off she goes. This time she's going to be the one landing the dropkick. Now has Sinclair in her sights. The Glamour's feeling it. Bit of BFT. Spikes the head of Sinclair into the mat. Good for one. May get a two. And that's no. Not the three. If Ren Sinclair controlled the early and mid stages of this matchup, the Glamour has controlled the late game. And the late game is realistically the stage you want to be winning in, as that is usually the time of the match where you get the dubbers around the world. Goes Monroe, missing with the dropkick though. Ren and Blake meeting up, and Ren's going to be forced into the corner. But up top by Monroe, there's those long legs, the head scissors, takedown off the top. Signature Blake offense. Good for one. There's another two. Once more, a kick out before the three. But Ren now has catched the Glamour off guard. Cover here, playing possum, good for two, and make it a three. Ren Sinclair steals it in your opener. And I would say this was an epic start to Primetime. Ren Sinclair, I would say, delivering a shock upset here over the Glamour. As we saw near fall after near fall, the Glamour had the opportunities in the end of this matchup, but one false step, Sinclair capitalizes and steals it.
Here is your winner, Ren Sinclair.
A pin by playing possum. A great way for Sinclair to get on the board in her Primetime debut. Let's see what happens in our next bout with further debuting breakdown stars on Primetime. Well, as stated, we've got debuting stars from Breakdown. Well, We're pledging our allegiance not to the former TV champion, but instead to her secret Hervis.
Is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Ayrshire, Scotland, Piper Niven.
Well, Piper Niven then on Secret Service business to inspect the lay of the land here on Primetime. A chance for her to take control, maybe, over a division that lacks it. Maybe even set up for the advantage pick that Primetime earned by winning Uprising. But the debut's not going to be easy here. There's another debutant on Primetime. In the form of the fearless Nikki Bella.
Opponent from Scottsdale, Arizona, Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella making her Primetime debut. It's a beautiful one at that. Not one that we typically was expected to have been drafted, but was done so and ended up over here in the new Primetime era. And I think the last time we really saw Nikki was that losing effort to the Tag Team Championship, where she got sent through a table by JC James. We start the match with a handshake, but cheap shot from Nikki out of that handshake. Not what you typically expect to see. As we tie up to start this one off, headlock here applied by Nikki Bella. And she's starting the match off in an interesting fashion. Getting a little down and dirty with Piper Niven's never a smart thing to do, as it gives, I would say, Niven a chance to bring you to the mat. And indeed, she does so. Nikki, though, does not look past her prime as she lands this doesn't land this standing STO. Instead, Niven takes waist control, but fought out of by Nikki Bella. And now, side Russian leg sweep from the Bella as she lands some punches, and you can just hear them a little bit stiff, landing into Piper, and that nice cradle takedown from Nikki to start this matchup off, really showcasing an era of just no BS, just pure action, taking it to her opponents here to start off her career here on Primetime. And never mind. Niven, torture rack bomb. That's a rack attack if I've ever seen it. Nikki, I think that might just piss her off, receiving her own finisher against her, but not in a finishing manner. That's a yikes as Niven overpowers Nikki into the corner. And again, Nikki, cheap shot out of the corner. I think grazed Niven with a boot to the face, because Niven's busted open on the face, but I don't know, because that boot looked to have connected to the chest area, to the stomach, but clearly it's done some damage up top. Could have been pre-done damage, I guess, that could have actually busted open Niven, and that boot just exerted the blood out of her face. Either way, Niven bleeding here as Nikki continuing to apply the pressure. Hangs Niven out to dry on that top rope. And the Bella, Nikki Bella certainly looking great in this matchup. Stiff shot avoided there by Piper as Nikki bammed head first into the hardest part of the ring. She's not staying down for long, and this is good work from Nikki. Keeping on the aggression. Avoids that shot and avoids another from Niven. As Piper eats the Bella Buster. Out of nowhere, that connects onto Piper. And she's sent into the ring. And Nikki's looking to capitalize. Cover here for Nikki Bella. 1, 2. No, kick out. The Secret Harvest member able to survive, but she's going for a roll-up. Rope break called. Big man Gregathy. Perfect eyes. 20/20 vision to see that one. But that vision isn't always perfect. Is that crossbody gonna go awry? Nikki brings Piper into the corner. A little crack of the jaw. Nikki up over Big Bella boot. Cover here as well. 1, 2. Kick out in time. Niven staying alive here. Up against Nikki Bella. Once again, Nikki looking to hang her out to dry on that top rope. Hard landing for Piper as Nikki's getting fired up here. This is certainly a different attitude being expressed here by Nikki Bella. A lot more confidence as she ascends and drops the crossbody to ringside onto Piper Niven. Niven evades whatever Nikki was looking for there, but does not evade a crash landing into the barricade and then the knee of Nikki. Oh, confidence from Nikki. The press-ups coming out. And that's just showing off. But Niven down and out. Gets back in before the count of 10, but caught. Enters the ring for a rack attack 2.0. Lands it flush. And that's good. No. I thought that was good night, Niven. Instead, it's a frustrated Nikki Bella. And a potential comeback on the cards for Piper Niven. Irish whip sends Bella running, but cannot capitalize. Instead, it's Nikki. Irish whip of her own. Puts Niven in the corner. The L comes out, and you know what that means. It's confidence for the Bellas as the monkey toss out the corner comes through. Niven gets back up, trying to find some momentum. Anything she can get into this matchup, but no. Instead, scooped up, slammed down. Nikki ascending to the second rope and misses wildly. Niven avoids it by getting up to her feet quick, but cannot avoid the boot and is sent running herself. A drop down and a spear caught. As Piper plays the fiddle. The flute. Niven looking maybe to end it. Fired up. Has Nikki on her feet. Then to the corner though is Piper, and now Nikki around off the middle rope. That boot to the side of her face connects and going for the cover. She thinks she's done enough to get the win, and indeed she has. A fearless Nikki Bella showcases her skills and picks up the W here on Primetime. Honestly, this was not that close of an affair, as Nikki really controlled this matchup from the get-go. Every step that Niven took, she ate a hard shot from Nikki Bella, who just kept the pressure on. While the frustrations grew for Nikki every time Piper kicked out, she kept on chugging.
Here is your winner, Nikki Bella!
And threw that final boot to put Niven down for good in this affair. A big dub here for Nikki. as we go on to our next bout. Well, we're taking a shift of pace away from the women's division over to the tag team side of things, as the smoke is about to be brought.
The following contest is a tornado tag team match on the way to the ring at a combined weight of 492 pounds. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits.
Well, the Profits were unfortunate during their last outing together on Underground, losing out in that fatal four-way tornado tag match where essentially it went down to the wire. But it was Otis and Akira Tozawa who won that matchup out. And now tonight, the Profits are looking to reassert themselves as a main event tag team. Obviously, with the fact that the Mixed Tag Championship kind of has eroded to the wayside, Bianca and Montez no longer teaming or needing to team together. Angelo also being drafted over to Primetime gives us more of a shot to the Profits. However, a team that's also come over to Primetime, only one of the big teams of Breakdown, in the form of DIY.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 407 pounds, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY.
This massive pickup for Primetime has led to some success as a unit. And the big thing I have to say is they really are in the hunt for getting a title shot. A lot of teams are, as we will be seeing the tag titles defended as the New Age Outlaws go up against Team 3D. This tornado tag match, a nice filler, a nice warm-up to what Turmoil can actually bring. Anyway, the Profits starting this one out in control over DIY, as these two teams certainly have had some wars in the past. I have to say though, DIY as a tag unit really found their footing more once they transitioned to the main roster of WWE. More known in NXT as the singles guys. And while they had that friendship, their heated rivalry was certainly what made Tommaso and Gargano the stars they are today. As Johnny Wrestling and Tommaso Ciampa trying to get back into the early stages of this match. As for the Profits, I would say their success also kind of came once they moved to the main roster. NXT not really considered a top tier team. Kind of just there, to be honest. Once they made it up to the main roster, that's where they've kind of found their actual successes. Gargano ascends up top, tries and does drop the axe onto Angelo. And on the other side of things, Tommaso's got a sledgehammer, and he is cracking it into Montez Ford. DIY have found their footing in the early stages of this one, as they are just decimating the Profits here. Montez into the ring, stops Tommaso's flurry of offense, but while he does manage to stop the chair being utilized from Gargano, cannot keep going. Alex may have spoke too soon. Does land the shot and drags and slams Gargano's head into the chair. It's a back stabber from Tommaso that's the big connecting maneuver in all of that. Montez trying to battle with Tommaso, but Dawkins protects his partner. Sends Ciampa for a little run. Gargano has a chance to slingshot in. Not going to go for the springboard maneuver. Instead, going for a bit of a big time shot as nice lumbar check from Ciampa as a double cover from DIY. Good for one. Make it a two. Kick out from both members of the Profits to stay alive in this matchup. Ciampa looking for a bit of end of heartache, not going to get it. Instead, it's a backdrop from Dawkins. Angelo catching Gargano with a sidewalk slam. Montez unloading onto Ciampa. Cover here. We've got a nice view of the ring post, but that's all we get to see. This is a quick kick out from Tommaso to stay alive in this matchup. Montez looking to fly. Missing. Ciampa avoids both members of the Street Profits' offense and instead going for a vertical suplex. Can't get it instead. Dawkins headlocks him. Gargano into the ring. Divorce cord. And he stops the springboard from Montez forward, but he's caught. And now sleeper takedown from Montez, who's looking for the most weird move in all sports entertainment. The People's Moonsault not going to come through. Instead, a roll-up from Dawkins stops it. Montez now brings Gargano up top and big-time powerbomb puts him down. The action all over the place as a pounce from Dawkins connects. Gargano on the offensive, discus lariat connects onto Montez. Now he's got him where he wants him. Dawkins now in the firing line. Eats the super kick. Ciampa waiting, biding his time, looking to strike Montez on the outside. Hooks him up and brings him down. Brainbuster. Meanwhile, inside ring, submission hold. Gargano utilizing the chair. It's all legal. In a tornado tag match, anything goes, no DQ, and that chair is a great weapon to put submissions in. As now Dawkins going for a submission of his own up against Johnny Wrestling. Gargano escapes said hold though, takes the back, full Nelson, spins him out. Dawkins down and being covered as Gargano looking for the dub. Can't get it. And Dawkins fires up. Gargano doesn't know what to think and gets scooped up and driven down into the mat with a power slam. Ciampa putting on a clinic on the outside. New weapon in hand for Ciampa as he's going swinging. Connects onto Montez as Gargano inside the ring. Springboard. Big time DDT connects. And now Gargano escape locked in center of the ring. Will Dawkins tap here? Close to tapping, but able to escape the hold. Big knee causes a separation. Followed up with a big shot as well. Big time shot in the ring cover here by Dawkins. The action turned quickly to the outside for some reason of missing that big shot as Dawkins spinning neck breaker brings down Ciampa, and now he's got Gargano in his hands. Kick to the gut, spins him out as well. As Ciampa's down, Montez going for that cover, only able to get a 2. Meanwhile, Gargano caught, spins out as well. Dawkins unloading the heavy shots as Montez keeping Ciampa at bay. The Profits earn the dub. I would have to say that camera work a little shoddy on this one, but Dawkins in the end, 2 big maneuvers, put both members of DIY in danger. Is that a simul cover there, almost ending the match. But Montez, once he got Ciampa out of the way, Dawkins kind of took over. As we see it here, that twisting neck breaker brings down Gargano. Montez grabs a hold of Ciampa, gets him out of the picture, and it's an easy 1, 2, 3.
Here are your winners, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits.
Well, tag team W's come in for the Profits here. Getting on winning ways. Can they keep that momentum going past Turmoil? We'll have to see, but now we're going to take a shift back to the women's division as a triple threat. Big bout gets us into our next matchup. Well, Primetime's women's division certainly saw some massive changes during draft week, but a constant remains.
The contest is a triple threat match. Making her way to the ring from Los Angeles, California, Victoria.
With these ladies, as well, opportunity certainly opens up with roster shifting. And tonight, at top of the card, the main event scene, the Women's Undisputed World Television Championship. A massive prize that could be in the sights of one of these women. Victoria the first in the match, but now we let the Wub Wubs carry us into the next entrant.
And her opponents, first, from Columbus, Ohio, Alexa Bliss.
Well, it's time to get a little twisted with Alexa Bliss taking the next spot in this triple threat match. And I'd have to say, Victoria and Alexa, well, on paper, both main eventers, not really been able to get into said pictures. Tonight there's maybe a chance to shift about those rankings, push towards the top of the card, with Primetime being the land of opportunity now. There is a shot for any of them making it, but now it's time to proceed with a little bit of caution, because their opponent has a new attitude.
And from Orlando, Florida, Naomi.
Caution tapes surround this woman, and with good reason. More brash, more ruthless, and more willing to take risk. She is a top star. Women's World Champion barking at the camera. I can't really say the hounds are barking in Reno because it's not Bron Breakker. He's in action in our main event, which is slowly closing in on us. But for now, as we focus in on this matchup, Naomi looks ready. Certainly a lot of confidence being exuded, even if it's not good, like happy, yes, I'm ready to go. It's, I'm wanting to beat the hell out of you type of confidence. We get underway here. Well, Bliss and Naomi charge headfirst at one another. Victoria going to be the first one to get into any form of offense, sending Naomi for a little run. Bliss watching on, able to finally get involved and lands a nice belly-to-back suplex onto Victoria to start the action for herself. But realistically, in a matchup like this, where anything goes, and it's 1v1, v1, typically you expect craziness, you expect people to maybe lie in wait to strike when the opportunity best suits, as there's the split legs from Naomi onto Victoria. Victoria, who's got her old theme song back, which I'm surprised she actually has now, but hey, these what it is. As nice side Russian leg sweep comes through from Alexa. Now, obviously, this matchup, while not defining of a number one contendership, we obviously kind of know what's happening there with Io Sky currently in that picture. Realistically, you do put yourself in good stead to go for a number one contendership matchup if you win this type of bout. Obviously, the issue with that is you put yourself, winning this, you kind of put yourself as a target for Fatal Influence. And they've kind of not been shying away from going on the aggressive. We've seen what they can do when given the chance to. And in fact, looking at the recent run of form for Fatal Influence, they've been very dominant. And since coming into New Era, I don't think they've dropped a match. Obviously, Kiana James beating Io. And then Fatal Influence's lineup of JC, Nix, and Fallon beat Rhea, Io, and then Saya Kawitami. In a surprise sort of bout. And looking at a card tonight, no Fatal Influence in action, but heading into Turmoil, the tag champions still looking for competition. They're not in action at Turmoil. We obviously will be seeing Fallon versus Io in kind of a revenge sort of match. I kind of have to call it that for Fallon Henley to beat Io Sky. But meanwhile, right now, Fujiwara armbar locked in by Victoria. Naomi able to escape that hold. But the other big matchup that's going to be interesting, Kiana James. She has earned herself a Sapphire Championship matchup. Going to be challenging Julia at the live event for it. And that's certainly an interesting prize. If Kiana can win that, then all of the big members of Fatal Influence hold championships. You know, Victoria has Naomi up for a Widow's Peak. Slams her down, cover here by Victoria, but Alexa's in perfect position to break it up, but she does eat a backdrop after stopping Victoria's win. That being said, Victoria into the cover once more, good for two. Naomi forced to kick out herself. Victoria caught Alexa into the bridging pin. Only good for nothing. Instead, a rear view going to be the fate of Bliss. So Naomi out of that Widow's Peak, gets up, plans that. Now sent into the corner as Alexa now. Nice neck breaker there. Slamming it into the knee of Bliss, but now Bliss needs to proceed with caution. She gets put down with the butt bomb. Victoria watches. Referee slow to count that. But Naomi seizing control, up and over. Now it's time to proceed with caution. A brutalizer locked in. Naomi trapping Victoria. Victoria using those knees to break the hold. And you can see that one of Victoria's knees, obviously in a brace, means that in the past she's had knee troubles. Certainly had to have surgery on him. But the fact that that knee's being utilized there to break that hold, it's certainly not good for Victoria. Now to go to probably weak weapons. Cover here though from Victoria, but gets broken up by Naomi, who gets caught in a DDT. And now it's Victoria seizing control, but Bliss, nice back elbow, protects herself. Up, down, arm drag takedown onto Victoria. She's a little frustrated succumbing to that maneuver. Oh, lariat connects onto two. There for Bliss, but she's caught. Naomi, big time knee planted into the face. And now those roundhouses uncorked, but the final one not landing. And she's now caught herself up top in the Widow's Peak and crash landing down as it's spiking the neck onto the shoulder. Cover here for Victoria. Bliss out of the picture. Two. And a kick out in time. Somehow Naomi surviving that. Bliss eliminates Victoria from the Royal Rumble. Sends her over the top rope. And now it's a do-a-lolly tap type of affair as it's spilt to ringside. Naomi's putting double buys up. But she's just succumbed to two Widow's Peaks and now a choke. This is a choke bomb. Bang! Crash landing. Victoria puts her down, but Naomi's back up quite quickly. Bliss sent running as the Sinister twisted. Victoria, she's in perfect control here. She eats a kendo stick to the face. Naomi just cracks that into a taunting Victoria. Bliss watching on. She's feeling it. But she's caught in a stunner. Naomi trying to go down low. Can't get it. Instead, caught by Alexa. Standing STO from Bliss, but she's dropped by Victoria. It is just everyone getting their licks in. Nice spinning heel kick from Naomi after catching the boot of Victoria. But she is now sandwiched between the two stars. As a tandem offense comes through from Bliss and Naomi. That's vertical suplex puts down Victoria. But a stiff right from Bliss busts open Naomi. The action's out here. The issue for all of these stars is no one can win. No one can actually get their W they want. They need to get it back into the ring. Who's going to be the first to do so? Because Naomi, she needs to have eyes in the back of her head because she's going to eat a chair shot from Victoria. But Victoria's shot gets blocked and she's now busted open. Thanks to Naomi slamming the chair into her head. Take a little break here in the action. Bliss fires back a shot into Naomi, sends her into the LED ring post. Victoria sent into the barricade. Who's going to break the deadlock? Who's going to bring someone into the ring? Currently, it's nobody. As Naomi lands some shots here. Bliss put into the barricade. Naomi returns into the ring, but I feel like that's only going to be for a moment. Kendo stick dragged to ringside. eats a drop kick. After doing so, Victoria goes to the ring. She's taunting. You think she's done enough here, but is the action still stuck out here? Bliss, a little blissful DDT puts Naomi down. Victoria catching Bliss. Nice snap vertical suplex. Now just stepping over her opponent. Booty popping moonsault. Victoria returns to the ring, as does Naomi. The action getting in here as up and over goes Naomi, proceeding with caution. Locks it in as Stagger Bliss at ringside, not going to be there in time to break this up. You feel maybe she is, brother. Does manage to stop Naomi from getting the submission win, but she is going to eat a drop kick. Naomi going for the cover onto Bliss. Victoria is down and out. May have been better to have pinned her after getting locked in that submission hold. Not going to be the case though. It's Naomi lining up Victoria. But what's this? Victoria's fired up. She lands a chop. Bliss sends her into the corner. Somehow Bliss lands a charging spear. And picks up the sledgehammer. Trying to bury her opponent but cannot connect with the swing. Instead, it's some nice stiff shots. Drags it down, attacks the arm. Keep your eyes on Naomi. The kendo stick caught as a sister. Abigail, no, not going to come through. Instead, it's a drop kick from Naomi. Rear view connects. She catches Victoria off guard. 1, 2, 3. Well, caution was thrown to the wind in this one. That ending sequence, Bliss getting forced out to ringside, and then Victoria thinking she's got the jump on Naomi, like she had through the majority of the match, landing a couple of Widow's Peaks onto her. It was the rear view that awaited Victoria charging in, and that, as we see it again, that dropkick forcing Bliss out, and Victoria charged in straight into the rear view, caught for the 3.
Here is your winner, Naomi!
Well, a big win in her new look. Naomi earns the dub. And for the last women's matchup of the night, we now move into some big time bouts as the co-main event is qualification to the men's turmoil matchup. Let's get it. Well, as we said, close out the last matchup, it's time to begin a couple of qualifying matchups for the men. Tonight and on Thursday, Battle Royales will launch Stars' Quest to Turmoil.
The following contest is an 8-man battle royal. Making his way to the ring from Ecatepec, Mexico. Weighing in at 94 kilos, Penta.
Well, this is certainly an interesting matchup. We've got stars who realistically should be in the turmoil match, but with few spots remaining in terms of available stars, we've got like 20 gazillion of them who aren't going to be able to compete at turmoil. So tonight we are giving one of those spots to one of these 8 stars. And yeah, there's some big names involved. Penta the first, The second is the underdog of the underground.
Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds, Sami Zayn!
Chance tonight for Zayn to use the crowd's noise, their backing their belief, to grant him this Battle Royale win. It's not going to be an easy task. That is what makes this one of the best type of events. Qualification is a hard thing to achieve when so many slots have been given to those who have been deemed worth it. The slot that's earned is usually the more promising. Gives you a chance to get a feel of the competition, gets you in a good mood heading into Turmoil. Zayn looks ready. But I've got a feeling we've all got to rise for the next star. We've had the cocky, sort of suave walk-in from Penta. We've had the fired up, crowd-backed.
From New York City, weighing in at 249 pounds, Damian Priest!
We had the crowd-backed Zayn, and now we've got the confident. We've got the tranquilo Damian Priest asserting dominance on his walk to the ring. Matchup like this, really, you can see it favoring Damian. A hard match to be eliminated in for the big man. A lot of these men, you would think, as we say, should be in the Turmoil match. Like, Priest should be a gimme, but no. Instead, he has to earn it. Like this former television champion. Opportunity in IPW usually is a tough thing. This is why this is going to be a tough battle royale. Sinister is how I would describe this walk-in. As a former television champion looks to assert himself. As Aleister Black rises from the grave. He has been a man that can land some of the most potent offense in IPW. Vicious combos, hard to stop. In a Turmoil matchup where it's all about survival, it's about finding your opportunities to strike. I think this man will be great in it. Just lying in wait. When someone comes near, you can just land a flurry of offense to drop them. Then one swift kick goodnight. Could be what gets you into or wins you the Turmoil matchup and that number 1 contendership. For whatever title you would like. Now, we've gone from confidence, we've gone from sinister to now awesome. Cockiness. As we begin the Miz's walk to the ring.
Residing in Hollywood, California, weighing in at 225 pounds, The Miz!
Let's be honest. No one expects him to win this. He is an A-lister in name, in action. It's probably like a C-list, D-list celebrity. But can he put on an S-tier performance and get himself into turmoil? All questions he may not even have the answer to. I certainly don't, because we go from awesome to spicy hot. As the fires burn, we unleash the big red machine.
And from parts unknown, weighing in at 320 pounds,
Kane, with the lights burning on him. A man that's done well in battle royales over the years. And I've got a feeling this ring's about to set on fire. Oh, prematurely. Boom! Oh, the little pew-pews. Little pew-pew fires. From spicy hot to wild.
and from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 350 pounds, the Samoan bulldozer, Umaga!
We've kind of described every walk so far in one word, and let's be honest. This matchup, it's just going to be either quick and easy, one star's just going to blow it out of the water, or we're going to get an absolute slugfest. And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, or hoping that we get. Because right now we've just added a Samoan bulldozer into this affair. And Umaga, he wants to destroy. As do I. I want him to do just that. And Leslie, I don't really have... Actually, I do. Revolutionary is how I describe this man and his walk to the ring.
And their opponent, representing the Vision from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Austin Theory!
This man earned his spot here tonight. One of the few. As we go back to saying how earning your way into the turmoil is the most gratifying thing. Theory earned his way into this matchup. He wasn't really supposed to be in it. He earned it by beating the #1 contender to the television championship. Now, granted, it wasn't for himself, and he also had a little bit of assistance from the men that will be facing the #1 contender in our main event. And that main event will be the #1 contendership bout. If Breakker wins, he's inserting himself into that matchup at Turmoil, making it a triple threat. But as of right now, if Theory wins, what a road to victory that is for Austin. Winning 2 matches in a row to get into the Turmoil match. And if he wins that would be huge as well. Anyway, focusing back on this bout, it's a battle royale. The only way to win is to toss all 7 other stars over the top rope, and their 2 delicious feet touch the floor. As we look at the battling right now, it is Theory and Umaga, Penta and The Miz. Speaking of Theory and Umaga, torture rack, inverse TKO as Penta sent over the top. Miz trying to eliminate him. Zayn and Black going to work as The Miz could have almost just punched Penta off. He's now trying to just push him down. He's going to eliminate Penta and does so. The first one into the match is the first one out of it. Will Zayn be second to follow? Kind of have to feel he may. If we're to go in entrance orders, that would probably mean that Theory's last eliminated. Right now, not the case. Is Theory caught with a DDT? Zayn put in the corner. He could have been eliminated there, but no. Instead, Blank springboards, connects a moonsault onto Umaga. It's kind of a boot trail. The Miz hangs on, avoids Theory's elimination attempt. Nice stiff right from Umaga, connects, dropping Black. Zayn and Priest battling in the forefront of our camera. Nice Michinoku driver from Zayn. Miz hangs on. Fires back to return to the ring. Kane not going to be able to eliminate him. He also won. Caught, back dropped. He's sent over the top there. Not to ringside though. Let's get forearm cleave from Priest as Umaga's been pretty potent with them like jabs to the throat. He is delivering them with great authority. Obviously, we've already seen one elimination. It came quite quick into this match. That was Penta going, and now Priest is gone. That's a big name out of the Turmoil match. He wasn't able to rise to this occasion. Theory has the Miz up, spinning out Blue Thunder Bomb. Puts the Miz down. He eats a big stiff knee from Black, who's got Kane in his sights now. Nice kick to the gut, brings him up. Stalling out as Kane goes over the back. Now I'm going to send Black to the corner. No, off the ropes and instead into a big boot that busts open Alistair. Theory has Kane hooked up. Fisherman's, no, neck breaker. But he's caught. No Samoan spike though. Super kick misses. Theory sent running up and over the top, and there's a spear from Umaga.
The Miz has been eliminated.
On the other side,
Theory has been eliminated.
it was Zayn eliminating The Miz. So we're now down to 4 that could turn to 3 if Kane is unable to hang on. Does manage to fight off Black, but Zayn now in trouble. Put on the top rope. Umaga trying to get rid. Cannot do so.
Aleister Black has been eliminated.
As that was happening, Kane tossing Black over the top. We're down to 3. It's Sami Zayn, Umaga, and Glenn Jacobs. The final 3. Kane now punishing Umaga. Zayn watches on. Can't go springboard. Instead, he gets tossed across the ring. Kane bides his time with his battle with Umaga as the Samoa Bulldozer sends him running. Scorpion Death Drop Pop from Zayn stops Umaga in his tracks, and now he's dealing with Kane. But the Big Red Machine back to his feet. He's got Zayn where he likes him. He's going to drag him into the corner. Potential elimination of the underdog from the underground, who's perched up top once more. Zayn turned over and tossed out. We're down to the final 2.
Zayn has been eliminated.
It's Kane and Umaga, the 2 big men. One of them will be entering turmoil, and it could be the Big Red Machine who's looking to choke slam Umaga to hell. Big time offense from the Big Red Machine as he's tossing Umaga up and over. The knee to the back eliminates him. And the Big Red Machine earns his spot. We take a look at the action. Priest eliminated, Penta eliminated, a big knee from Black connects. Umaga almost went early. But this was one I thought was going to be Kane's downfall, eating that big neck breaker from Theory. But no. Chokeslam to Umaga, and then the easy toss over the top, followed up with a knee to the back of the head.
Here is your winner, Kane!
And now, he lets more fires burn, the pyro budget out the window for tonight's episode. But not to worry, it'll be reloaded for Turmoil, where this man is heading. Well, normally we start the show like this, but Reno, the hounds are barking. With Braun Breaker looking to make a dent in the Turmoil Television Championship match.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Paul Heyman, representing the Vision from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 250 pounds, Braun Breaker!
Well, the hounds, as we say, were barking, but Breaker's not coming alone. He's brought his biggest cheerleader, Paul Heyman, along for the ride. What impact will that have on this matchup? As we say, a win for Breaker inserts himself into the Turmoil Television Championship matchup. A loss, and well, Mr. Iguana continues his perfect way here in IPW. Somehow.
And his opponent from Culiacan, Sinaloa, Mexico, weighing in at 80 kilos, Mr. Iguana.
I tell a lie. He hasn't had a perfect kind of debut in IPW, but he's won 2 out of 3 over 3 weeks of action. He beat Bill Goldberg. He then lost to Austin Theory, but he also beat 7 other stars in the form of the British Bulldog, Ray Phoenix, Mr. Perfect, Nick Aldis, Rusev, Farouk, and Brock Lesnar. Which, in all honesty, with the fact that Paul Heyman is out here, could this be a reasonable targeted attack by the Vision, orchestrated by Heyman to take out the men that beat the Beast? That certainly could be a thing, as a nice belly to back suplex kicks off the action for Breakker. Remember, Breakker has nothing to lose in this matchup. It's Mr. Iguana who has everything on the line. His one-on-one matchup against Abyss. Remember, I think Mr. Iguana likes those odds when he's an underdog. It's easier for him to perform. He avoids the attack there from Breakker, and now around the world he goes. Consadora and a head scissor takedown. Standing Spanish fly. He baits in Breakker and lands it. Nice attack there, but obviously, since becoming #1 contender, the Vision have really been after it. Breakker launched that vicious assault before Mr. Iguana's last matchup, and that gave Theory the win. Now Breakker, big time powerbomb, bringing the action to Mr. Iguana. Irish whip reversed, puts Mr. Iguana in the corner. He's able to fight out of it. Looking to fly, but Breakker can't catch him. Does, however, avoid that shot. And now Breakker looking to strike true. Spear! Cutting Mr. Iguana in half. It's a cover here for Breakker. 1, 2. No, near fall. Certainly, Breakker is the future. But he is caught now. Roll up. Pin here for Mr. Iguana. Referee not even going to try and count it for some reason. Breakker back on the offensive though. Attacking Mr. Iguana, who's up, over, around the world. Crucifix bomb connects. Now he lines up his target. Breakker in trouble. Caught. Mr. Iguana spins him out and slams him down. The head hits the canvas. 1, 2. No. Almost keeps his championship match a one-on-one, but Breakker looking to turn it into that triple threat affair. The headbutt from Mr. Iguana. Able to connect it and then connect the arm drag. Breakker not able to stop it. Mr. Iguana going all over the place with his springboards. Now, the badass dog gets to strike, but he's tossed into the corner. Baseball bat enters the picture. Oh, that's a vicious chop. Breakker. Irish whipping Mr. Iguana into the corner, missing with the shoulder tackle. Badass dog. Eating some heavy punishment as Leader Del Sol connects for Mr. Iguana. And he can continue the punishment if he chooses to do so. However, Breakker caught, eats the springboard. And now Mr. Paul Heyman getting properly involved in the action. Little cheeky doodle. Little taunt distraction as the chop block comes through from Breakker, targeting the knee. Move the sturdy base to Mr. Iguana. And now punish. Put him up top. As it's time for a little Frankensteiner from the son of the originator. 1, 2. Kick out. Mr. Iguana staying alive. But how much longer can he do so? Because Breaker, he's back in control, and the Vision look to proceed with the victory. However, Mr. Iguana, caught. Spear! Out of nowhere, he connects. 1, 2, and we've got a triple threat at Turmoil. Systematic destruction from Breaker. He earned his spot through being ruthless. And this matchup, he was able to overcome some early offense from Mr. Iguana. But you have to say, if it weren't for Paul Heyman, Breaker would not have probably won this match. Mr. Iguana had the opportunity there to end it, but he elbowed to the back of the head and then the spear. It's good night, Mr. Iguana.
Here is your winner, Breaker!
Well, Turmoil is heating up, and now we've got another addition to our card. A triple threat television championship match. That's going to be epic. And what's even more epic is going to be Thursday night's episode of Breakdown. More action coming your way then. I'll see you then.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind,